Welcome to Octane Mobile Gaming. Welcome once again to the channel. I'm Octane, your host, and today we take a look at possible deck combination. But just before we get into the possible decks, we've got Player's Choice Vault, and the only thing I would say is you can choose a deck that you would like to upgrade, or choose a deck that you think is the best, or you could choose a deck that you haven't got. I normally go for the decks that I haven't got, so I can get a discount on the vault to see if I can get that deck, or I'll choose a deck that I've got that I think is really good, like Lost Covenant, and you go through the vault and see if you can actually get the ultimate form if you haven't got it, or get extra cards to actually upgrade your deck, upgrade the card to a higher level of pink star. Lost Covenant Vault came out. It's the first side pack to come out, and it's really good. It's a really good damage dealer. So I went up to tier 5 of that side pack, and I only managed to get a rare relic, which was pretty disappointing. But I'm not gonna go up to tier 6 just to get a master collection card. If I got a ultra rare before I got up to tier 5, I would probably go up to tier 6 just to get myself a extra pink star on Lost Covenant, because it is a really good damage dealer. So we're gonna take a look at the current deck that I'm using, and the current deck that I'm using uses the current ultimate form, Long Night Harbingers. And Long Night Harbingers is okay. It's not extremely powerful. It does give you the benefit of 140% damage increase to all Dark Commander cards. It gives you 11 Power Gem 8s, and it does cleanse 1 debuff from a hero every time you activate a attack or damage buff. It's got Last Stand as well, which is a revive, and it is able to dispel slumber, and it is able to dispel armor. Now if I should compare, say, Harbinger against the previous ultimate form, which is the Defraggers, the Defraggers has got a lot of benefit as the card to give you the killer skill. That is the reason why I said if you didn't manage to get the ultimate form from the vault, don't worry, because you don't really need the current ultimate form. If I compare the pros and cons of both ultimate form, the Defraggers and Harbinger, the Defraggers gives you Power Gem 6s. It gives you 8 Power Gem 6s. It does give you extra 3 with its passive, giving you 11 Power Gem 8s. 11 Power Gem 6s, I should say. The current ultimate form gives you Power Gem 8, which is 2 levels higher than what Defragger is able to create. However, the Defragger dispels 1 enemy buff and cleanses 1 debuff from each Dark Commander hero on the team. The current ultimate form is able to dispel armor. However, that is its counter skill. So once you get hit with armor, if you haven't got the Defraggers, the current ultimate form isn't able to remove armor. So you have to play through 5 turns until armor goes away. If you're hit with armor while you've got the Defraggers on the team, as soon as you activate the battle skill, it dispels, or it removes the armor, so you can do your attack. So in that case, the Defraggers is far better than the current ultimate form. The current ultimate form also removes 1 debuff from 1 card, and for every attack boost or damage boost card that you activate, it removes another one. So it can remove it from up to 5 cards. If you've got 5 cards on your deck, that gives you a damage boost or an attack boost. The Defraggers does it as soon as you activate the battle skill. So in that case, the Defraggers is far better than the current ultimate form. The Defraggers gives you 50% self increase, so 50% self damage increase. The current ultimate form gives you 140 damage increase for every card on the deck. So in that case, the current ultimate form has got an edge over defraggers. So both cards have got their pros and both cards have got their cons. But for me, the defraggers has got a bit more edge because it's unstoppable. So there's nothing that can actually silence this card. So the defraggers has got the edge over the current ultimate form because it is unstoppable. It also has got the ability to dispel armor. So it can dispel armor, just like the current ultimate form. So the defraggers is quite good. It can be used as the card to give you the killer skill. So if you haven't got the current ultimate form, you aren't missing out on a lot. However, if you haven't got Lost Covenant, you are missing out on quite a lot, because Lost Covenant is the best damage dealer when it comes to Dark Commander event. If you've got it at 1 pink star, it's really good. The more pink star you've got, the more damage you will deal. But if you've got it at 1 pink star, you are better off than somebody who hasn't got Lost Covenant, because Lost Covenant is a really decent damage dealer. It converts all non-dark power gems to dark power gems. It upgrades all dark power gems to 2 rank. It creates 14 dark power gem 7s and increases self damage by 300% for 1 turn. So that's all it's going to give to you, and that is a lot. So that's going to be your main damage dealer. The next card, if you haven't got, you're losing out on a lot, is Metaverse Master. So Metaverse Master is a staple of almost every deck. There hasn't been many decks that doesn't use Metaverse Master on board. It doesn't matter the affinity of the deck, if it's light deck, dark deck, fire deck, water deck, Metaverse Master is a staple, because this card is going to give you 150% damage increase to 1 card. The next card to activate its battle skill after you activate the battle skill of Metaverse Master. So Metaverse Master, in that sense, is a really good utility card. You only need a utility card at 1 pink star. You don't need more than 1 pink star. It's always nice to have more pink star, but it's not a need to have. However, Lost Covenant is a damage dealer. So a damage dealing card, you will need a damage dealing card at the highest level pink star that you can possibly get it. I've got the 4 pink star and I would love it at 6 pink star, and that's the reason why I invested almost 9,000 gems in the side vault to actually see if I could get a ultra rare. If I got an ultra rare, as I said, I would have gone up to tier 6 just to get a master collection card to get 1 extra pink star. That 1 extra pink star would allow me to do an extra 20% damage. So that's an extra 20% off the base damage. So the base damage is, at the moment as it stands, is 27,275. That's the base damage, and that is added and multiplied with all of these wonderful things like the affinity bonus, the event bonus, the bonus that you get from Metaverse Master, the bonus that you're gonna get from the self increase, the damage bonus that you're getting from all the other cards, and it makes this card really powerful. Now, Lords of Exbalba is really good to have, but it's not a need to have, because if you haven't got this card can be replaced by the current ultra rare. So the current ultra rare will give you 140% damage increase, while Lords of Exbalba gives you a 60% damage increase. It does upgrade your power gems to 1 level higher, and it does give you, I think, 5 power gem 7s. But the 140% damage increase does make up for all of that. So if you haven't got that one, the current ultra rare is really good to use in its place. Seaborn Scalawag is far better than Lords of Exbalba. It's far better than Earth-Shaking Colossi, and this one will give you 8 dark power gem 6s. It will upgrade all dark power gems by 1 rank, and it will give all your dark commander 80% damage increase for 3 turns. And the fact that it gives you that 80% damage over 3 turns is really useful, especially in the quest map. That makes this one really good. So that's the combination that I'm currently using for my ultimate bosses. I'm using it for the quest maps, I'm using it for the solo bosses, and I'm using it for the guild bosses. So this deck combination is the only deck combination that I'm using for everything. So you can see how really diverse this combination is, simply because you've got Metaverse Master and Lost Covenant and Seaborn Scalawag on board. Those are the three most important cards that I've actually got in this combination. Now if you look at a combination that uses the Defraggers as the card that's going to give you the killer skill, again I've got Seaborn Scalawag on board, I've got Lost Covenant on board, and I've got Metaverse Master. But if I haven't got Lords of Excalibur, I would use Sky Charmer Aurora as the card that's going to give me 140% boost. Non-event combination, because this one is in the non-event combination because I've got the ultra rare on board. So a non-event combination. So a non-event combination would use Metaverse Master, Lost Covenant, Defraggers, Lords of Excalibur, and Seaborn Scalawag. If you haven't got Lords of Excalibur, simple swap that one out, and what we would do, we would look for another card that could actually replace that card, and it would be none other than Earthshaking Colossi. So let's find Earthshaking Colossi, and it should be somewhere around here. Let's find it. Should be up a bit more. Here it is. I'll just replace Lords of Excalibur with Earthshaking Colossi. And what this one will do for us, it upgrades the 7 highest ranking power gems on the board, and it will create 6 Dark Power Gem 6s and increase Dark Commander's attack by 60% for 1 turn. So it's not as powerful as Lords of Excalibur, but it will do a bit for your deck, and this would be a non-event combination. Now for people who are just starting out in the event, you might have gotten the current ultimate form. Congratulations. You might not have gotten the current ultimate form, you might not have the Defraggers, you might not have the golems, but if you have got the oldest of the ultimate forms that will give you the killer skill, let's just find it, this one, Moonlight Fantasy. If you have got this one, you can use this one alongside the current main event main hero. If you have got 2 copies of the main hero, you've got the supporting card, you more than likely are gonna be in the Paladin League, so or the Knights League. If you're in any one of those leagues, you can perform relatively well using a combination like that, because most of the people in the Paladin League or the Knights League won't have an array of cards like people who have been in the game for quite some time, so you would be able to perform quite relatively well. So let's get into the event. So currently I've got a ultimate line on pause. I'm gonna go through that for a bit, and then we're gonna look at we're gonna have a look at the, if we get a solo boss, we look at the solo boss, and if time permits, we'll go and fight one of the guild bosses. Now just a word of advice: when you're choosing an ally card to take with you, please remember that the golems only gives its leader skill to dark immortal killer cards only. Well, not dark immortal killer cards only, it only gives its leader skill to immortal killer cards. So it doesn't matter if the immortal killer is light, dark, water, or fire, it will give a boost to that card, its leader skill to that card, as long as that card is an immortal killer. Now as you can see, I've got nothing but Dark Commanders on board, but it only boosts 1 card on team, which is the current ultimate form, because it's the only card that's on the team that's an immortal killer card. So bear that in mind. That will make your deck lacking in power. So if you haven't got anything else to take, you can take the golem, but just remember that it's going to take you longer to get through the quest map. So I haven't been taking the golems because that makes my deck really underpowered. The best one to take is the current ultimate form or Lost Covenant. Metaverse Master is really good as well. So those are the three that I've been mainly taken into the quest map: Metaverse Master, the current ultimate form, and Lost Covenant. I do take other cards that boost all the cards on the deck, but I just mainly stick with those three. So we're gonna go straight into the quest map, and we are going to fight a few of them. Probably 2 rounds of the quest map. So try and get your quest map as high as possible, as quickly as possible. It will aid you to finish quite high on the solo leaderboard. However, the current deck is really powerful, so you might want to fight quite a few whale bosses. Now, the first activation of my deck, what I always like to do is I always like to activate Seaborn Scalawag. So I normally use Seaborn Scalawag as my main damage dealer here. And the good thing about Seaborn Scalawag is it will give me 80% damage boost for 3 turns. So for 3 turns I've got that 8% damage boost. Next card I would activate is 1 copy of the current ultimate form. That will give me 140% damage boost for 2 turns. So that gives me 220% damage increase. Plus Seaborn Scalawag has got the 150% damage increase coming from Metaverse Master, and that would enable me to take out one of the rare spawn bosses. There we go, rare spawn boss is dead. Now if it's one of the wave with multiple bosses, those wave are slightly weaker. So on this turn, what I will activate Metaverse Master first, and then I'll activate Lords of Excalibur. And because I've still got the boost coming from Seaborn Scalawag, the current ultimate form, the 150 coming from Metaverse Master, plus an extra 60 coming from Lords of Excalibur, I have got enough damage boost to actually take out this boss using Lords of Excalibur as my main damage dealer. And that is how I basically activate my cards over the 5 waves that I'm fighting. Now on this turn, I'm gonna activate Metaverse Master, activate a copy of the current ultimate form. I've got the boost coming from the current ultimate form. I've still got 80% coming from Seaborn Scalawag, and I've got 150% coming from Metaverse Master, and that enables me to take out the next boss quite easily. Now this wave is gonna be the Wisp, so I don't really need all that power to take out the Wisp. So I just match, I don't need to swap anything, I just match, and I've got enough power to take out the Wisp. Now it's 5 waves, so the last wave is going to be the mini boss, and the mini boss is always the strongest. When you've got 6 wave and get above level 50, the 3rd and the 6th wave is the mini boss, and they're always strongest. On this turn, I'll use Lost Covenant as my main damage dealer. So I'm going to activate Metaverse Master, then Lost Covenant, and I can activate everything else in any order. It doesn't have to have a particular order to activate the rest of the cards. I'll just activate all the cards as I see fit. Swap my power gems, and Lost Covenant will do its magic. And as you can see, 12 trillion damage. That actually works out to be 12.3 quadrillion damage coming from Lost Covenant. So you can see how powerful that card is. So that's the first wave. We are currently up to level 30, so we're gonna have 6 wave this time, and we will take whatever we've got down here. So I've got the defraggers. You can take the defraggers as well, because the defraggers will boost all the cards with its leader's skill. But what I like to do, so if you take the defraggers, as you can see, the defraggers actually buffs all the cards, but because the defraggers only gives itself that 50% damage increase, I like to take a card that boosts all the cards on the deck. And in that case, I will take a copy of the current ultimate form, or if I could find Metaverse Master, a copy of Metaverse Master, that would be quite fine as well. So you know what, I'll just take a copy of the current ultimate form, and that would be quite helpful. So this is the first wave, and because it's multiple boss, this wave is not too strong. So I'll activate Metaverse Master and Seaborn Scalawags, swap my power gems, and I should have relatively enough power to take out this wave. This wave is not really strong. Let's see, we've got it's a same for this wave. It's not going to be really strong. So Metaverse Master, Lords of Excalibur, and I've got a bit more damage boost here because I've got 80% coming from Seaborn Scalawag, I've got 60% coming from Lords of Excalibur, and I've got 150 coming from Metaverse Master's boost that it passed to Lords of Excalibur. Still got a wave with multiple bosses, and I'm just going to activate Metaverse Master and one copy of the current ultimate form, swap my power gems, and this should take out this wave quite easily. As I said, when you get up to level 50, the third wave will be the mini boss, and the sixth wave will be the mini boss. Here we go, we have got the Wisp. We just match our power gems, and we should have enough power to take out the Wisp. The Wisp is not that strong. So let's see what the fifth wave will bring us. So I always like to see the rare spawn bosses, because the rare spawn bosses always give you a bit extra trophy, extra keys, extra trophies. You can just tap the box and you'll see exactly what they've got to offer. I always like the ones with the extra portion, because the more portion I collect, the more I'm able to take some of my cards up to maximum. And now we are up to the final boss, and again what I'm gonna do is activate Metaverse Master, Lost Covenant, and everything else in no particular order. And I should have enough power here, more than enough power to take out the boss. Just swap your power gems and the boss will be taken out quite easily. So we took about a minute and a half to 2 minutes to get through those 6 waves, and that was relatively easy. We weren't stuck on any boss, so that's a combination that you could choose to use. So I'm gonna look at the guild bosses first, and then we're going to go into the ultimate bosses. So it's the same combination I'm using. 3 keys. With this boss, I try to activate my cards in the best manner. So I normally activate the current ultimate form first, then I activate Metaverse Master, Lost Covenant, and the last card I would activate is Seaborn Scalawag. This some of the time gives me a really nice layout. I've only got 1 gem loose, so this will give me around about 13 quadrillion damage. It does go higher when you've got more loose power gems on board. The maximum I was able to get was 56 quadrillion on 1 attack. I haven't been able to replicate it. I did manage to get 43, 33, but the highest damage I wasn't able to replicate it. I wasn't able to replicate it at all. It only happened once. Hopefully I can replicate it before I actually finish this video. This won't be very high. This will be around about 10 quadrillion, 12 quadrillion, 12.9 quadrillion. But you can see that with this deck you can take out one of a level 300 guild boss all by yourself. So it's not really a bad deck, because you do have decks that we use for commander event that you can be playing for 10 minutes and you're unable to take out a guild boss on your own. You need the support of probably 3 or 4 persons in the guild at the same time attacking the guild boss. But with this deck by myself, I can actually take down a level 300 guild boss in 2 to 2.5 minutes. So this one should be a bit more, 21 quadrillion. So you do see the power of the deck. And if you've got Lost Covenant at 6 pink stars and it's awoken 5 times, it's vastly more powerful than my Lost Covenant that I've got, and my Lost Covenant is significantly powerful comparing to somebody who's got Lost Covenant at 6 pink star, awoken 5 times, and is at maximum. But we should be able to take out the guild boss with this attack. Let's see if how many loose power gems we get. We've only got 1 loose power gem, so that should give us roughly about 17 quadrillion, 14 quadrillion, more than enough to take out the boss. So that didn't take us a lot of time, and all by ourselves we were able to take out the guild boss, so that is really, really good. So let's go back into the crusade and let's go to the ultimate. So I've got the ultimate at level 9, and I normally play the ultimates until I get up to around about 17 to level 19. When I get to level 19, I might go up to level 24, but I don't really go past level 24 because that's when you start using like 3 keys, and it isn't that profitable to be using 3 keys unless you can get 500% overkill on the bosses when you get up to that level, because that's when you start gathering really high trophy counts, because at this level you're getting 157 million trophies for 500% overkill, and it didn't take me a long time to actually take the boss out, but it does take you a while to actually get up to level 17. It does take you a bit of time, so I normally just spend most of my time fighting the Umbrella quest map and try to get it as high as possible, as quickly as possible, and I normally earn most of my trophies that way. The rest of my trophies I earn when my guild is having a frenzy. That's the reason why I always encourage you guys to try and get into a really good guild, a guild that's got at least 25 really active players, 4 quadrillion with 1 key. So you can see, so we're up to 184 million trophies. It does increase quite a bit when you get up to like level 27. You get in quite a bit of trophies, but as I said, it takes 3 keys, it takes some time, and if your deck isn't really powerful, it's best to just stick to the Umbrella map. So my recommendation, if you can afford to go into the side pack to try and get Lost Covenant, it is really worth it. It's quite a good investment when it comes to Dark Commander events. Current ultimate form, if you've got the coin to craft the ultimate form, I would say save your coins and craft the water ultimate form. It's a far better ultimate form than the current ultimate form. Not sure what type of ultimate forms we are gonna get for the rest of the season. We've still got 3 more events to come. We've got the Earth Slayer event next week, and then we've got the Light Commander event the week after, and last but not least, we've got the Fire Slayer event coming up. Are we gonna get really good decks for those 3 remaining events? It remains to be seen. However, we did get a really, really good ultimate form last week, and it is one that I would say don't start spending your coins to craft any ultimate form as yet. The water ultimate form is one that I would recommend. It's quite good. It's quite a good card to have in your collection. So do save your coins for that one. Don't craft any ultimate form as yet. I think you should save your coins, or if you can craft it, I would suggest you craft it from now, that you're not tempted to actually spend your coins to get the dark ultimate form or light ultimate form. So that's it for today's video. Oh, you know what, I'm gonna let you guys see the other 2 combination, what they're able to do. So I haven't showed you the 2 other combination, I've just been showing you 1 combination. So this is the combination using the Defraggers, Seabond's Caliwag, Lost Covenant, Metaverse Master, and the current ultra rare. We're going to use one key, and we're going to see if it's able to deal the amount of damage that the combination that I was just using is able to deal. So I almost forgot about these two combinations. So the current ultra rare, Metaverse Master, Lost Covenant, Seaborn Scalawag, and last but not least, we activate the defraggers. And this is where defraggers will come into its own up against the ultimates, because so you can see 1 quadrillion for 1 quadrillion, 1 key, 1 quadrillion for Lost Covenant. We were dealing between 2.5 to 4 quadrillion with Lost Covenant using the current ultra rare, because using the current ultimate form, because the current ultimate form is a bit better than the ultra rare. The ultra rare doesn't produce any power gems, it just gives you 140% damage increase. But if you get the power gems in the right layout, you can deal quite significant damage. So let's see how many loose power gems we've got. Just 1 loose power gem, 16. So this will give us just almost 1 quadrillion for Lost Covenant. So you can see that it's not as powerful using so let's try a different activation sequence. This activation sequence, we're going to activate Seaborn Scalawag as our last card. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to activate defraggers, then the current ultra rare, activate Metaverse Master, then Lost Covenant, and then last but not least, I'm going to activate Seaborn Scalawags. And on this turn, we still got only 1 power gem loose. And this is even less powerful, so less powerful attack than the attack that we had before. Let's try that again. Let's see if we can switch up the activation order and see if we can get at least 4 power gems loose at the end. So we're going to use 1 key again, and the first card we're going to activate, I think the first card I should activate is Seaborn Scalawag. So Seaborn Scalawag, current ultra rare, Metaverse Master, Lost Covenant, and then we activate defraggers last but not least. Swap, and we've got 2 power gems loose this time, and even less power this time. So this combination is not as powerful as the combination using the current ultimate form. Let's see if we swap out the current ultra rare and use Earth-Shaking Colossi. So I'm gonna swap Earth-Shaking Colossi. I'm gonna put Lords of Excalibur in. So this one, the only difference with this one is that we are using Earth-Shaking Colossi and not Lords of Excalibur or the current ultra rare. So let's see if this one does any better than the current combination. It isn't as powerful, so relatively about the same amount of damage it's actually putting out. So let's try and swap out. Let's swap out Earth-Shaking Colossi, and let's get Lords of Excalibur in. So we're gonna no filter. Let's try and I'm trying to fine-tune the deck, so we'll do that. Defraggers, Lost Covenant. So let's see if we do it this way. Let's see if, because the activation order is some of the time key, if you produce a bit less power gems at the end, you tend to separate those from the main cluster, and that's when you start dealing really good damage, when you've got like lots of cards separated from the main cluster. So let's see, we've got roughly about 3 power gems separated from the main cluster, and that gave us 1.4 quadrillion. So the more power gems you've got separated from the main cluster, the higher the level of damage that you will produce. So you can see that the deck, let's try using this combination, which is a non-event combination, using the defraggers as the card that's giving us the killer skill. And let's use 3 keys and let's see the damage that it is able to produce. And then we're going to use the current, combination using the current ultimate form. So again, same activation sequence: defraggers, Lords of Excalibur, defraggers, Lost Covenant, and last but not least, we will use Seaborn Scalibur. Let's see the damage output. 4 quadrillion. So it can go higher, but as I said, it all depends on the layout of the power gems. So let's go for the current ultimate form in this combination, 3 keys, and let's see damage output for this combination. We'll roughly get about the same damage output as the damage output that we got when we were fighting the guild boss. Probably won't be able to get 500% overkill, so we haven't got any loose power gems, so the damage is not gonna be significantly high. So 11.5 quadrillion, because we didn't get a lot of loose power gems, but we did manage to get 500% overkill, which is 1.4 billion trophies, so that's not bad. So I'm gonna leave it here. The next video might be in the new year. I have got a few videos that I need to upload for new players, so do look out for those. So until next time, when we look at Legendary Game of Hero again, this is Octane saying have a really wonderful and a prosperous new year, and I'll see you in the new year. Happy New Year. Bye for now.